Mike.
Morning.
Good morning, Michael.
Yeah,
Introduce yourself, and then you may proceed with your.
Great. Thank you. My name's Mike Ritter. I serve as the Deputy Director for Domestic Violence Intervention of Lebanon County. And all we are approaching the board with today is a request for certification of local government for a CARES Act ESG, or Emergency Solutions Grant Round 2 funding stream. I know that there could be some potential concerns from the board regarding that, because I know you all were presented with an application for this funding stream a couple of weeks ago. We did submit through email to Jamie a response to any anticipated concerns about that, but we certainly want to welcome those and submit them into the public record today. So I just want folks to understand that there's a difference between what we're talking about here today. Our state coalition, the Pennsylvania Coalition Against Domestic Violence, is applying as the grantee for a state level allocation under CARES ESG, as opposed to a county level allocation. And so we, as a member organization under PCADV, would be considered a sub-recipient. So while they sort of have the same origin, they come down through different streams. And so there is no concern that there would be competing interests here between the state level allocation and the county level allocation. Overall, Pennsylvania, through the state allocation, has received $16 million. And PCADV is requesting $6.2 million from that. The other thing that would distinguish this opportunity is that the PCADV application is specific to what's called eligibility category 4, which is that it's specific for serving only people who are fleeing domestic violence, sexual assault, and or human trafficking. So it would not be open to quote unquote general population. Part of the reason PCADV ultimately decided to pursue this is, according to them, 80% of homeless persons nationwide have violence in the home as a contributing factor to that homelessness. And we have seen nationwide domestic violence hotline calls increasing 120% since the pandemic started approximately this time last year. The only reason really for the
Lebanon County, is that a Lebanon County number?
It is a nationwide number.
Okay.
Yeah. Though we did have an increase here as well. I just don't have a percentage to attach to that. The reason for the delayed time frame, because I know a lot of the deadlines have apparently have passed, but we've received assurance from PCADV that this certification can be submitted up to no later than mid-March, I'm sorry. So that's why we're approaching you here today. Ultimately, we don't know exactly how much money would come into Lebanon County, but the money that we would get would support our shelter operations as much as is possible with COVID safety standards in place. And when it is not possible for us to fully utilize our shelter, or we need to supplement our shelter usage with hoteling residents, it would support our efforts to do that as well going forward. And then we've also put in a request to be able to provide some hazard pay for our frontline crisis workers who are most likely to be in direct contact with folks that we're helping. So I hope that provides a little bit of context. Again, all we're asking from the board is to certify the local government certification, the form that we submitted to Jamie previously in an email. That's all we kind of need today. PCADV considers it's really a formality at this point. DVI has applied directly for ESG funding in the past, but because it has been approximately 7 or 8 years, we just want to be safe and cover our rears.
Okay, Commissioner Litz, do you have a question?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Mike, I know that you said you don't know the exact amount you'll get, which is often the case, that we get a reduced amount of what we ask for. What is the ask that you made or would like to make?
I can say this: we know we're spending on hoteling right now about $2,500 a month on average. We can anticipate that theoretically rising as we move into the warmer months, and that's just because across the board, all types of violence tend to go up as the temperature goes up. And so we do sometimes tend to, on average, see a spike in people reaching out for help as warm months increase. Plus, people are getting extremely anxious with the pandemic and related issues with that. So it would certainly go for helping in that type of regard. I unfortunately, I'm not sure I can give a little bit more detail at this point. PCADV is really taking the lead in submitting kind of a lot of the details. So admittedly, some of those at the local level still have to be hashed out.
So your application does not contain a number of ask?
Our portion does not. The overall ask is for 6.2 million, but that would cover the entire statewide network of 60 programs under PCADV. So
okay.
No, we don't have a specific request or ask in terms of a dollar amount within that at this time. I think that would come after, that would be worked out in conversations after the funding is received, if it is.
Okay.
Can we get a motion on the floor and then we'll accept additional questions?
Yeah, I can make a motion to for the Lebanon County to support the application as presented by DVI.
Second the motion.
Okay, Jamie, you had a comment or question?
Yeah, I just wanted to say thanks to Mike. This does answer the question. And I spoke to Sam Ortiz, who was our applicant on the prior meeting in February. He commented here in the chat that it is not an issue of conflict. I also spoke with Brian Smith just to inform him that, Mike gave this answer. And so everyone's understood. And Mike, I appreciate the research and the thorough explanation on the differences.
Sure.
Yeah, the bureaucracy or it's a bit convoluted when you try to sort it out. So thank you for trying to bring some clarity. You and Sam understand it firsthand, so that's a big help to us. Any other discussion or question, Mike, before we vote? If not, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign, so moved. I failed last time, Michael, that you were on to congratulate you on your relatively new promotion. So congratulations.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. And thank you
Keep up
for
the good
your
work.
time today.